Hey there, everyone. This is Petrie,
This is Chris.
and welcome to another exciting but heavily delayed episode of New School Republic Pro Wrestling Podcast, or whatever we're deciding to call it this week.
Yeah, whatever.
That's right. It is what it is, dog.
It's been so long. It's literally been, I think, since we had Erickson and Rhea on. So that was probably, November?
Yeah.
It's been a long time, unfortunately.
But then again, it was the holidays.
Yeah.
I was still trying to get acclimated to a job.
Mm-hmm.
When did you pop the question?
I popped the question last February.
Okay.
And then we,
Then it was just hardcore planning ever since.
Yeah, we did better photos on the horse and buggy thing
Yeah.
in June. That was our photo op thing we did for the engagement.
But I like the Kennywood one. And the one on
Yeah.
the beach was pretty cool too.
That was good too, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
But we gotta know, you can't gloss it over, so okay, planning for a wedding. You can still podcast, right? No, well, what happened?
Absolutely.
No,
Well,
what happened?
Our wedding venue burned down.
Yeah, oh, God.
So we were out of a wedding venue.
And not just the venue, not just the where the ceremony was gonna be at, not where the reception was, not where all the guests were staying. All of it went up in smoke.
Total loss.
Yeah.
Happened about, almost about 4 weeks ago, early May.
And then we got another 4 weeks to the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 2 months trying to get stuff done.
Yeah, and there was a lot invested into that place. So now we had to go back, figure everything out, get everything reorganized, and then get back on track. So that was a quick little 3-week planning a wedding thing again,
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness.
Jeez.
And it wasn't one of those build-ups like Randy Savage and Elizabeth's wedding or Uncle Elmer and his wife. No, this took some time of planning.
No, this is legit too.
Yeah,
so.
this was way longer than theirs.
Yeah. Actually, you probably saw some of the horrible live stream videos, but
Yeah.
Phil and I, Mark and Alan, went to WrestleMania 33.
Yeah.
So that big, there's gonna be that should be a big 3-hour podcast of that, planning. What's it like? What was WrestleCon like? NXT, the main event, Raw. We didn't go to SmackDown, Hall of Fame. What's Orlando like? Because Orlando's really weird. Because when people say oh, Orlando, their main industry is tourism, he was just yeah, whatever. What else have they got? That's all they got. So you drive past all these hotels and these chintzy touristy crap. That's what it is. That's their tourism. It's crazy.
Yeah, for us, we have some tourism, but we depend more on our sports, our medical here,
Steel, in industry, manufacturing. There's nothing like that down there. It's nuts.
Even the film industry is getting very popular here too.
Yeah,
I'd say over the last 11, 12 years, or maybe almost 15 by now. But wow,
yo, it is what it is, dog.
it is. We have a lot of wrestling to catch up on.
So much
So
wrestling.
we'll do the 3-hour podcast for Mania another time.
Absolutely.
We need to air your opening of your tickets as well. We got to
we got the tickets 2-3 weeks beforehand, and
Yeah.
really just no time to edit that video.
It's just been a crazy couple months. I mean, and then we'll definitely have the Survivor Series versus Starrcade podcast for the 1989 editions as well. I was supposed to have that up on Thanksgiving, but I just didn't have a chance.
Right.
So we'll get that done as well. But, I mean, there's a lot of wrestling to talk about. TNA has a new owner again.
Oh yeah.
For the 90th time.
Who is it again?
Anthem Sports.
That's right.
They purchased, pretty much the company, I'm guessing. I don't know all the specifics. I'm sure Eric Santa Maria and some other individuals can post underneath our video about it. Because I pay attention a little bit, but not completely. 100% TNA.
No, yeah. And I just want funny bullcrap. Oh, what's the funny bullcrap this week?
Yeah,
that's what I gravitate to.
Well, the thing is, they had a horrible split with the Hardys and Rebby Sky and everybody else involved with that. And then a lot of other guys left too. Drew Galloway went to NXT.
Yeah, doing well.
Yeah, doing pretty good. I'm trying to think who else left. That other individual who's kind of doing that Liberace gimmick.
Oh, Aaron Rex.
Yeah, he
Damien
left.
Sandow.
Yeah, he's gone. Jade, I believe, left. I don't know about Jesse Goddard. I get conflicting reviews about that in messages because I'll read online. I read on one of the messages on on the websites for wrestling news. He said he was still with TNA. He's just doing several projects right now. So he might be taking a break, but they have him on the alumni section, so I'm guessing he's gone for now. Don't really know.
Yeah.
Apparently Scott Steiner's back. Jeff Jarrett's pretty much run the show again. Bruce Pritchard is just some kind of random on-air individual, I guess. It's just kind of It's kind of odd. Dutch Mantel's back, which I'm very excited about. I love Dutch Mantel. I mean, I think he's a genius with wrestling. I mean, we're pretty much just status quo again. I'm not going to say like
with TNA.
Yeah, I'd say that wrestling definitely has improved 100%, but we're still status quo where we have Global Force now involved in everything, and I guess they're gonna have some kind of big blow off at the end at Slammiversary.
Yeah, which is still like Global Force and TNA are still like separate.
Well, they said Karen Jarrett came on about a month ago and said they combined. They're now one, which makes no sense to me because like they're competing for their titles and all that.
Right, but if they're doing that, then it's still separate.
Yeah, so it makes no sense. Once again, this is the problem with TNA. It's like a walking contradiction. Everything they do and say is always the opposite. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me sometimes. And there's just too many belts already. You don't need the Global Force, whatever. I think it's just time to drop it, say it was a failure, and be done. Or just say it was a semi-success, and that's it.
Right.
Either way, it's gone. So. Let's move on. Let's make TNA great again, as they've been saying. But I think it's going to take a lot to make it great again. Because so many fans said it sucked and we're gone. So...
Case in point, huh?
Yeah, you're one of them. And I don't blame you because it's like in a bad relationship. You can only take so much, then you're done.
Don't get me started on that, bro.
I won't. But it's just saying, Lord. Like, these poor fans, I feel bad. They've been put through the ringer through so much garbage that TNA's produced over, like, the last 7 years that it's really hard to be a wrestling fan for TNA. I can understand both points of view. The diehards, that's fine. But I can understand people that are just fed up and just annoyed with it. I understand their point of view as well. That's why I think a lot of that crowd kind of went to NXT, because that's kind of like... NXT reminds me of like what TNA was in 05, 06. But I mean, like, NXT is in the end all be all as a part of WWE anyway. But they made their own version of it, like an independent organization in a way.
Right.
They gave you like that independent wrestling kind of feel.
Which I love NXT for that. But then it's just like you see it like, WWE is like really putting the clamp down on like other federations, other promotions, and. It's just like, ooh, maybe that's not such a good thing that they have their own independent.
I don't care what Vince McMahon says. I don't care what Triple H says. Those guys are always going to be bullies. They're always going to try to screw over every organization that they can, take their talent. I don't care what they say. No matter how they spin it, politically correct it, whatever they say, they're always going to try to steal talent. That's what they do.
Politically correct?
Yeah, well, then again. But,
okay.
But, I mean, just everything and anything they'll do to get that talent. And that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But then they cry wolf when someone else does it to them. So, whatever.
Right. Which is crazy because New Japan's going to do that to them.
Yeah, there's some exciting news with New Japan, too. They're going to have a United States... They unveiled the title a few weeks ago.
And it looks banging.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be great. And it's... New Japan, I'm sorry. You can't compete with them. They're on a whole other level of wrestling.
It's so different.
I mean, I watched Lucha Underground compared to New Japan. Oof.
Lucha Underground...
It's another thing completely.
Yeah.
You can't top New Japan, I don't think, so...
No. I mean, like, if you want, like, that big, super exciting, like, I'm gonna... if you want the strong style...
Yeah, if you like that, but, I mean, also with that other individual, was it Okada against that other individual? That got that...
Shibata.
Yeah. Brain injury and everything.
Yeah. Whacked this other guy. Shibata whacks Okada so hard with a headbutt. Oh, man, watch the video that he is... That was about, like, what, a month ago?
Probably about a month ago. It was a lot of...
And he's had, like, a couple surgeries, 2 pieces of his skull removed, saying he's never going to wrestle again. He's saying he's going to come back, but, like, other, like, professionals are like, nah, he's done.
Well, that's why, I mean, Japan, that's a tough style to
Right. I think that was one of the reasons why Nakamura got out. He's like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to wreck myself.
Well, yeah, when's enough,
Yeah.
I mean, but New Japan, that Kenny Omega Okada match earlier this year, a lot of buzz behind that.
Yeah. I've still yet to see it. It's a 40-minute match.
It's pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like the best match I've ever seen in my life, but it was pretty decent.
Okay.
I think, New Japan, when they come to the United States, they've already have Access or AXS? I don't know.
Access, I think.
Okay. I never can pronounce it right. It's like one of those things where it's out of sight, out of mind to me because we don't have it on the cable.
It's AXS.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't get to see New Japan on that because I don't have that channel. But they've been around on American TV for a while now. Now they're coming here. They're going to have a tournament for the United States Championship. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, finally the fans get to see New Japan in America. I mean, besides like with Ring of Honor, and I'm not sure if they've done a show here or not. I think they have last year.
They've done like little things here, but they've never had like
Something like this.
Yeah, this is like huge. This is actually taking market share away from Vince. This move,
and that's great.
Yeah,
I say the more the merrier for that. So I'm excited to see what New Japan comes up with. And when they team with Ring of Honor, it's always a win. It's just an interesting time in wrestling right now because I think a lot of the independent promotions, the smaller promotions, are starting to step up now.
right.
And you're getting more, more for your money. You're getting more exposure with them. You're being able to see them in new types of media. It's just great, I think.
My favorite local promotion is coming back.
They are.
They're coming back after a few month hiatus, and
They are.
yeah, Code Red Wrestling is making a return out of they're not going back to Century 3 Mall. Century 3 Mall's pretty much dead. America's most favorite dead mall. Italian Village Pizza is no longer in.
They've been there since 1979.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
They have no food there, which is tremendous.
I know. You can't eat anything at Century 3, I guess, except Auntie Anne's pretzels, maybe.
Maybe.
If you can find them, they're still open. I really don't know.
Yeah, I just think that's hilarious. But, they're going to a small place. They're staying in our area, which is, like, super nice.
Yeah.
So, hey, hats off to the Code Red. Really hope to have some of those guys on. I really like that DK Abel dude.
I gotta watch it more. I haven't really. I mean, I was there at one of their shows.
And you crept all over it?
Yeah, I was.
Rightfully so, not gonna lie.
It was a little bad. But it's fun to watch wrestling.
Would you pay it for now? Would you pay $10 this show now to see it?
I don't know. I mean, I think so. Yeah, I think.
Or local wrestling in your like zip code.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'll cough up the money.
See, yeah, all right. And then the other local promotion, we're kind of hitting the high points here fast. I like that. Mm-hmm. The Super Indie tournament, Super Indie 16.
Yeah, I believe so. 16.
Yeah, I mean, like, wow, guys, what a tournament that's shaping up to be with the surprise entrant of Adam Cole, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's big for them, so it's going to be a couple weeks coming up. I don't know the exact date, but IWC always puts on a pretty good product. I mean, you can't really say too much bad about them because they take it seriously. It looks professional. They always do a high-quality job, so hats off to them. Mm-hmm. We got some other wrestling. I think Big Time Wrestling's coming. 5-Star Wrestling's coming here.
Yeah, for
got a lot of
legend
wrestling.
Shows. Yeah, I mean, so much wrestling.
It just goes back to my problem, though. Once again, they're not coming into Pittsburgh. I don't know if it's just it costs too much to run here, but they're always like an hour out. Like they're 5 Stars gonna be in Cranberry, and then Big Time's gonna be in Washington, PA.
Yeah.
So it's really not.
But they're saying, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I mean, Washington's pretty far out. So
right.
It just goes back to that. Can we please get a show here? Can it be somewhere that's local for us in the Pittsburgh area, not 50, 60, 70 minutes away?
Even like IWC, they're gonna have that Super Indie tournament and Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. That's like a 25-minute drive from us.
Yeah,
it's surprisingly far.
Yeah, even like people say, "Oh, Elizabeth." No, it's probably further.
It's tucked away in there.
Yeah, so it's not like right down the road. So that's the only problem sometimes I have with like Pittsburgh itself as a wrestling market. You don't have easy access to get to these shows. They're always like somewhere weird, or they're somewhere far away that you know. But that's a whole other topic for another day. But here's something cool. We didn't mention this. We saw Gary Michael Cappetta in March.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was fantastic. That was a fantastic show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was just a stage show, and, not so much. It wasn't, like, as comedic as you think it would be. It's not like Rob Van Dam or Mick Foley where they'll take, like, a couple of minutes to set up to a punchline. Mm-hmm. This is just like, boom, here it is. This is just my side of the story. And I'll tell you what, it was informative. It was thought-provoking. It was intimate. That's one of the reasons why I liked it, because we were like, what the farthest row back was like what, 7 or 8 rows.
Yeah, it wasn't very much.
But they were like 10 rows wide.
Yeah, I mean it was interesting. I think we had probably like in the theater, very intimate setting, probably like 30 people or more.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a lot, but it was enough to be cool.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the show. It was very neat. It was very insightful. Like when I was younger, he was always like the WCW announcer. Until I started watching some of the older shows, I recognized him in Philadelphia and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's Gary Michael Cappetta. So it's interesting to see, like, he was kind of there when McMahon took over and everything.
Yeah, he has an interesting favorite McMahon.
Yeah.
To be sure. Don't want to spoil it. Don't want to blow up the spot.
But yeah, he had like a lot of good input, a lot of fun memories he shared.
Very like approachable too. You can like drop him a line on Facebook. Just don't get too weird.
Yeah, he's just one of the nicest guys I've been wrestling so far.
Yeah. absolutely.
So I recommend seeing Gary Michael Cappetta. He has some dates coming up this year, and then he's going to have a whole nother tour next year. So check him out. I think he's on Facebook. Just type in Gary Michael Cappetta or Gary Cappetta. Either one, it'll get you to him.
Yeah.
And he also auctions off, or even just, honestly, I think he just sells a lot of wrestling memorabilia too.
He does sell. He does sell. Yeah.
And this gentleman over here, Phil, bought me a WCW 1991 Starrcade Battle Bowl poster.
Because it was funny because at the Gary Michael Cappetta show, which was like a couple of weeks away from Mania at that point, you wanted that poster. You just straight up, man, I really want this.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then I took like a crappy picture of it. I'm like, don't worry about it. We'll bootleg it. So and then like a couple of weeks later, still got to get that bootleg made, and then see Gary Michael Cappetta. Like, oh hey, I'm selling stuff. Great, what you got? I was like, oh, I got these T-shirts, I got these books, I got some other stuff, and I got these posters. You have the 1991 Battle Bowl poster. Yeah, I do. One, please.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah, it was a good time.
And it's a quality poster. It's not like just a little...
It is
throwaway.
Thick.
Yeah.
It is thick.
You can tell it was a good promotional poster from whenever they promoted the show.
Right, yeah.
And that was a cool pay-per-view concept. People complain, Starrcade should have been about, the matches and the title. I get that, but it was just a unique concept to do. It probably would have been better in January as like the Royal Rumble kind of show instead of like Starrcade.
Yeah, but then you can't really compete against the Rumble, though. The Rumble's its own thing.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, either way... I think WCW was always trying to find their niche or whatever, however you say that word. But they could never get it with certain shows. But I think Battle Bowl, they should have made its own pay-per-view, which they did eventually. But they should have kept it going. They never really... It was kind of on and off.
Hey, we kept it going.
We did. We had a great Battle Bowl 94.
I don't even know what episode that was. But the one that says, like, Battle Bowl.
Yeah, I think it was actually 89. Episode 89, I think we did that.
Episode 89. Yeah. But it was like, what, Battle Bowl 94.
Mm-hmm. We did the whole show. And I think we booked a pretty good show.
It was
on the fly.
Random. Random. You pulled names out of a hat. We rolled to see. Now, see, when we rolled the numbers, it was like, well, combine the numbers together. And pretty much like out of 40 was how good the match was. A lot of those matches weren't that good. But they're just like neat to like even... to exist.
Yeah.
To even just happen.
I think because, too, it was like that weird time when a lot of WWF guys were coming over.
Right.
And they were mixing with WCW guys, and it was just very weird. Like, you don't really see Hacksaw Jim Duggan with, like, I don't know who he teamed with on the pay-per-view, but it was odd pairings. Like, Frank Anderson, the German, Swedish, or what I think it was the Swedish Olympian with Hulk Hogan. Just odd. Like, odd matches. And it was an odd time in WCW, but, like... I thought it was a good show, and I already rolled for Battle Bowl 95, so I have all 40 names.
You have 40 names for Battle Bowl.
Yeah, and I think I have all the tag matches, too, set up. So we'll do Battle Bowl 95.
Okay, great.
So that'll be coming up soon. So we can never have enough Battle Bowl, I say.
No, honestly. It's a very cool, like, once a year, like, concept.
Yeah, it's fun.
I don't think, like, WWE, they don't really do, like, oh, hey, he's like our... Oh, they do the Andre the Giant... Memorial Battle Royale, but like other than that, that's pretty much like it. They don't do like these cool like once a year like championship kind of things. Like, hey, once you win it, hey, you're the champion this year. Congratulations.
Well, TNA does it, but they don't do. It was okay, but who cares? I know it doesn't have the magic of Battle Bowl. I think Battle Bowl itself should be like a cult following show for some independent organization to do with like NWA wrestlers in there. I think I was reading that the NWA was doing the Crockett Cup again. It's like some Crockett Foundation Cup they're doing. And I heard, like, when I was talking to someone about the NWA as well, they said they still do a tag team tournament similar, but it's not the Crockett Cup. But they're actually doing the Crockett Cup for the Crockett Foundation. So I thought that was cool. One of the NWA groups is doing that. Yeah. But that's what, someone should do a Battle Bowl show. I think it'll be fun. But yeah, so speaking of NWA, Billy Corgan bought it.
Yeah, I mean,
why not?
He lost out on the deal to buy TNA. That was a whole nightmare. And a couple months later, you literally wake up to the news that Billy Corgan has purchased the NWA. What that precisely means, he bought it a month ago, and no one really knows.
Well, the thing is, like, back to TNA, too, before he left, boy, was that a mess. Like, the court...
Oh, they were trying to sell it?
Oh, my gosh. Like, that was... From, like, October to, like, December was, like, just such a dramatic... It made the company look so bad. From Dixie Carter trying to... An Anthem, and They're all trying to...
Dixie trying to make herself part of the deal.
Yeah, and Corgan kind of getting shafted. It was bad. But Billy Corgan now owns the NWA. I think he'll do a lot with it. I mean, he doesn't have a really good track record yet, but...
No. Well, you had that one company in Chicago that she, sold.
Yeah, I think they got canceled their show or whatever. It never really got off the ground. I think it was...
It's still like an independent, though.
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't go too well. Then TNA didn't go too well. So hopefully this will be his redemption. He'll be able to get the NWA on track. Because God knows, I mean, the NWA is pretty consistent with just being territories and that's it, and that's fine. But I think he can give a pulse to this if he get some good financial backers. I mean, himself, I'm sure, is a good financial backer, but you got to have more to that. So I'd like to see the NWA eventually on TV within a year or two.
Yeah, something.
Because it's been going nowhere for 15. Well, I mean, way longer than that, but just through the other ownerships before, it hasn't been going anywhere. But it's like Steve Corino said when we were watching the shoot interview, he was talking about the AWA and what their system was back in the mid 2000s was to have an NWA type territory system, and they did shows at carnivals and they made revenue off that. And he was the traveling champion. They never wanted to get on TV, but they just wanted to keep that going, and that's fine.
Right.
But I think people expect the NWA to be on TV eventually.
But with now you have Netflix, you have a lot of streaming services, you have the High Spots Wrestling Network, which is just fantastic. But
there's a lot of media. I mean,
a lot of media.
I mean, Lucha Underground's on Netflix now, so I'm sure the NWA could get on there, but they're gonna have to figure out something too. I think they're gonna have to get that niche audience back.
Right.
I think they have to get off. They have to go by their legacy too.
Yeah, he is literally Corgan has quite a mountain to climb there, and he honestly has to cut a lot of shit out of the NWA.
Yeah,
everything the 7 levels of hate. The 7 levels of hate started off as a story between Colt Cabana and Adam Pearce.
Yeah,
fighting for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. It eventually degraded into, oh my God, what the hell is management doing? They don't know what they're doing. I don't want to spoil the ending for you, but it's just it's not a story about wrestling. It's a story about how management and stuff just being overproduced just screws everything up.
I agree. Not when the change of being political and all that nonsense. Yeah, the NWA did it themselves because they had something there and they could have went with it, but of course they didn't. Right. So here we are again, 2017. NWA is pretty much nowhere to be seen.
No, right, yeah.
I mean, people will argue the fact, but let's face it, folks. Is it on TV? No. Does it have a mass, huge internet presence like it used to? Well, not like it used to, I'm sorry, but like it should? No. I mean, people can say their little organization or territory is live on the internet and they do all these shows, and that's great, but in a larger scale, there needs to be something produced. There needs to be a show that people can watch and say, well, this is this territory, that territory, this territory. Watch an hour's worth of program and see a couple of the different territories or smaller groups on the show, or showcase that talent on the show.
Right now, it is 10:07 on May 25th, 2017. Mm-hmm. The current NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and I love playing this game. Okay. It is currently Tim Storm, who won the title back on October 21st, 2016. He was born February 18th, 1965.
Okay.
He's 6'3".
Okay.
260 pounds. At 51 years old, though, Storm has made history as the oldest wrestler to ever win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. In 2017, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion is 52 years old.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I'm not saying that this is a young man's sport, but you know what? Don't you want to highlight some people?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think they're using the talent that they have to their greatest potential.
Yeah.
I don't, and it goes back to management and all that too. They had Jack Stane as a champion. He was a younger guy, big monster. Now he's in TNA. I mean, that's great. They had Rob Conway was a champion for a while too.
Sure.
And that's fine, but I think what Corgan's going to do is he's going to get that younger group. He's going to showcase that talent. Let's have another era like the Rock and Roll Express, the Russians, the Warlord, the Barbarian, the Legion of Doom, Dusty Rhodes, all that. Let's get that magic back. It's going to be very hard, and it probably won't happen, but something for our generation to say, hey, that's...
I want them to try.
Yeah.
I want them to try.
I want to see some effort here, boys. And, I mean, even 10 years ago, they had a great pool they could have did something with. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood was great to watch.
Yeah.
But they left the NWA. I don't think they're part of it anymore. But they had the Young Bucks. They had Adam Pearce. They had Austin Aries. They had Colt Cabana. The list goes on and on and on. But it's like, you just got to do something with that talent. So let's hope the NWA succeeds. I wish Billy Corgan luck. Let's get a fresh era for the NWA, and hopefully it's great and it's successful. But we'll see. Only time will really tell. And so far, the track record hasn't really been too hot. So.
No. Well, another thing I don't think is going to be really too hot is, speaking about Lucha Underground being on Netflix, there's another wrestling show being produced for Netflix.
Okay.
And man, I don't know. I always liked Glow, but this isn't a new promotion.
It's just a show?
It's a show. There's like a narrative.
So it's like a comedy or something?
Yeah, so like the thing is, like, I watched like some Insider Hollywood thing on it. So like honestly, who knows? They could have had it wrong. Mm-hmm. I doubt it. The point, it's being written by the woman who wrote Orange Is the New Black. There's like one like fictional character who like she's a down on her luck actress, and she's doesn't know what to do with her life, and she hears this noise and like, oh, it's women's wrestling. Oh, we could do something with this. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Just make it. Look, make it a promotion.
Yeah.
Make it a promotion. Well, I'm not saying you have to be like WrestleLicious, but like just what we want.
Well, I think Women of Wrestling, wow, that's back. That's online.
Really?
Yeah, I discovered that about a year ago.
Okay.
So they're back and running. They pretty much they have most of the wrestlers from 2000 that were like the main, like Jungle Girl and a couple other girls. So like they brought that back. So that's something you can watch. I discovered that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, what's the point? And stop making fun of wrestling. Like I just
right, yeah.
I get sick of that too. Like, you know what? It might not be the sport for everybody, but we, us fans appreciate it. We get sick of Hollywood taking a cheap shot and making fun of it.
Right. I knew this version of Glow was in serious trouble with like wrestling fans when they hired not wrestlers but actresses.
Yeah.
Stop, son.
I know.
Stop.
Well, it's like
why couldn't you bring everyone together? Why the hell could you just bring everyone together?
What's different from our show, like what we're going to try to do here, that we're almost, living with the Luchador.
Yeah.
It's a comedy, but it's different. It's not like just having a fake promotion making fun of wrestling. Like, it's just different. I don't know. But
it's not really a promotion. No. And it's just some guy trying to run a show.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's all it Luchador.
But Glow is just like making fun of it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what it does. I mean,
I think, look, it's going to get like a lot of buzz, but it's not going to get like a peep out of wrestling fans.
Yeah. No one cares.
No. Unfortunately.
Speaking of Lucha Underground, that's been on, 3 seasons now?
Yeah, 3 seasons. They're actually on iTunes.
Okay.
Which I think is like really cool too.
I watched it. I tried watching the first couple episodes of it, and I watched it before, but I mean, it's just not for me. I can't get into it. It reminds me of like WMAC Masters. Did you ever watch it back in like the 90s? It was like that karate tournament.
Yeah, but they were like fighting out there, but they were like friends backstage or whatever.
Another Power Rangers kind of rip-off show.
Yeah.
This is what that reminds me of. Like that whole fake character thing, but it's real, but it's not. I don't know.
Man, I like it. It's a promotion.
It's something different.
It's a promotion.
I don't think they'll tour, but it'll just be a show.
Honestly, I think you're right. In a couple of years, it's just going to be like, okay, well, that was fun. That was a neat little experiment.
Yeah.
Because like Lucha, they wanted Lucha Libre to blow up in America, and honestly, that still hasn't happened.
No, there was that other one, Lucha Libre USA.
Right.
I don't know if that was ever on TV or what it was on.
They taped episodes for it.
Yeah, I remember seeing a lot of guys. They made action figures for it too and everything, but I don't know. I really couldn't tell if it was on television or not. If it was one of those off stations, not for a long time, that it was on. So
yeah, I mean,
we'll see if I don't know if Lucha will ever really get its fair shake. I guess like New Japan will.
No. Well, worst case scenario, I think AAA they're going to look at Lucha Underground. They're eventually going to can it. They're going to assess what they have.
Yeah.
And then probably they're going to do what New Japan did, because now they're going to say they had a crack at it. Mm-hmm. So you got to think New Japan learned from that.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously AAA is going to go back and they're going to look at what they did. They're going to learn from what New Japan did, and they're going to come back. They're going to be stronger than ever. They're going to crack the American. They are going to crack the American market.
Well, good. I mean, TNA always talks about their partnership with them, but that always leads to nothing. Same with Pro Wrestling Noah. I mean, they have a partnership, and that's great. But usually TNA's partnerships don't really benefit TNA that much. It benefits everybody else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from what I've seen. But, we'll just have to wait and see on that. I'm trying to think what else is going on.
I guess you want to talk about some like roster changes.
TNA or WWE?
Yeah, well, everyone. So like,
TNA got shaken up pretty good.
Yeah.
They pretty much had a lot of GFW people come in. A lot of former talents back, like Matt Morgan, Magnus, Bram came back after a while with Eddie Kingston. That was before that, but they also got the Congo Kongs there now. Alberto,
I like him.
Yeah, he's all right. Alberto Del Rio's there. A lot of new talent. I'm trying to think who else came in. A lot of Global Force guys. LAX is back. Jack Stain and Crimson are like this American. They're like a USA Pro, war team. The Gods of War, I think they're called, or something like that. I can't remember the name, but they're like, veterans, and they're a pretty solid team. So they're trying to rebuild everything. They're trying to rebuild the X division. They're trying to build the tag division. Everything that's been pretty much a mess. Let's face it, the Hardys have been pretty much carrying TNA almost like the last year or so.
Right.
So,
of course, they're in WWE now.
They are, yeah. And it's exactly as I predicted. They won't use that gimmick because they won't get the rights to it, and that's the end of that.
Well, who has the rights to it?
TNA. They own it. And they're not giving it up.
Like,
I don't know.
Reby is just like
she's flipping
she's
out.
She's a firebrand on Twitter, man.
WWE, I was reading, they're not gonna pursue it. They don't need it. And Reby Sky's like flipping out, on TNA and Anthem, but Anthem owns that, and they're adamant about it. And WWE's not gonna take them to court and waste the time. They don't. They can make money off the Hardys another way. So it's exactly what I predicted. You're not gonna get the broken anything.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, time's gonna tell.
Time will tell, but I pretty much think that it's not happening. It's exactly what I predicted. They came back at Mania. He did his little broken thing for a little bit, but that's it. Like, it's just not happening.
He never really did the broken thing. Well, he did do the broken thing, and he signed the wrong side of my Jolly Roger flag. Oh my God! Don't get me started on that. Oh Whoops. God, that'll be on the WrestleMania podcast.
I like to see
well, Nakamura's in. He's on the main roster.
He's on the main roster. Who else went over there?
The Revival's on the main roster.
Samoa Joe kind of jumped too.
Yeah, he was more like quiet, but he's up there. Oh God, now the back's up against the wall.
I don't really watch it, so I don't really know.
No, they've been doing all right.
I think Bobby Roode's probably gonna go up there soon.
And as soon as Galloway, once he gets,
they get a couple guys in there, and then they send a couple up, and
right, yeah, because all it is a feeder system.
Yeah.
So first of all. That was all it was designed to be.
That's why I told a lot of people on the podcast. I said, don't get your hopes up for this thing to turn into something besides a feeder system. That's all it is.
That's all. Yeah,
it's their version of an independent.
There's no reason why it can't be great.
Yeah.
If you're a AAA baseball team, if you win a championship, oh hey, great, more power to you. But honestly, that's not the ultimate goal of these guys.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Like, it's not meant to be its own version. I always said, like, if they put this much effort into ECW, it would have been a success.
Yeah.
And WCW, quite frankly.
Yeah, gotta be real.
That's one thing I want to follow up to, the WCW Invasion. We never followed up on that. So we'll do a podcast on that. I actually rewrote everything too. That was one thing, one of our projects we were supposed to do. Like, what would happen if?
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff.
There's like 3 versions of that. What happened if Bischoff continued the way they were going to go with it? What happened if it just continued as the Invasion like Vince did, but kind of rewriting it a little bit? And what happened if it was just a totally different Invasion? I've watched several videos about the Invasion. Jim Cornette rebooked it. It was okay. I do like Russo's better. I know it's a sin to like anything Russo does, but from a writing perspective and from just my general interest, I like the way he did it better. Because he brought Hogan back. He brought Scott Hall back first. Because that was the first guy to jump. That was really, besides Luger. Then he was talking about how he's going to have Hall in the audience and come back and beg for a job, and he didn't. And then they bring Nash back, and then Hogan comes back. And then they feud with McMahon. They beat the heck out of, Shane McMahon and, cripple him. And that's great. Then Eric Bischoff shows up and says, I got a solution to your problem. Then he brings Goldberg and Sting and Booker T, and they do like a 6-man tag. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's different. Cornette booked it a little bit differently. He booked it good. He kept the roster separate, but it just wasn't that interesting. And I don't think some of the guys that he was bringing in were even under contract at the time with WWE. So I'm like, eh.
It was very like, Southern, old style 70s.
Yeah, and it wasn't bad, but it was just something about it where it just didn't gain my peak of interest. Like,
yeah.
where Russo
well, you kind of seen it before.
Yeah. I mean, like, WWE as a whole, to book that invasion, I mean, they did everything wrong that you could. And they should have just waited until they got a TV slot. I mean, that's the big thing. Wait till you get that TV.
Right. And honestly, apparently, like, advertisers didn't want WCW. They were all in on WWE.
I know.
But it's just like, at some point, honestly, now, if WWE bought WCW, like, today, they would totally be on the network. They'd be doing something after.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have your own media. You wouldn't have to worry about it. And
right.
See, that's the thing. It's too bad they didn't have now what they, then, now kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they weren't big enough yet. And they had always talked about a wrestling network or whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, it would have been neat to see what history would have brought us. But even like in the end of it, they bring Ric Flair back, and he buys half the company. The guy was the commissioner of WCW at the end. Like, why couldn't you just make him the new owner or whatever? They never would give that company any due.
No.
Same with ECW. They never give them any due, except like you get One Night Stand, a few other things. But that sci-fi disaster, oh, those two companies never got their fair due, and it's a shame. But ego and money get in the way. But yeah, I mean, wrestling's interesting now. I mean, you don't need to be on TV to be successful. And
no, it's refreshing.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think TV viewership is like genuinely down. I mean, you have like really good shows. A lot of shows are like really popular. But like, a lot of people aren't watching, network TV. A lot of people, are looking to cut the cable.
Yeah, cable's going to be gone, I think, in 15 years from like every house. It won't be. There'll be some houses that have it, but it's not going to be like it used to be, or just constant.
Yeah.
The cable era, I think, is over, and the internet era is here.
And the problem with like cable was that they just gouge people.
They really do. It's ridiculous. You pay over $200 for internet cable and whatever. But I love watching wrestling. I'll continue to watch wrestling. I enjoy more 80s and 90s wrestling. I think the boom period's over. I don't know if we'll ever get back to that. Internet fans will argue and debate with each other all day about it, and same with hardcore fans. But let's face it, folks. There's not much interest in wrestling anymore like it was,
Yeah, not like a mainstream appeal.
Yeah, I mean, like Fox isn't begging TNA to get signed and let's make this thing huge. No.
Yeah.
There's no interest whatsoever. I mean, WWE has their own thing and they fill out WrestleMania and that's fine. But wrestling as a whole, I just don't really see it right now. I don't know. It depends what New Japan does. There's some factors in there. But right now it's just kind of status quo.
Honestly, in New Japan, they kind of needed to ride the momentum from like Wrestle Kingdom 9.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the buys, I think, for Wrestle Kingdom 9 in this country weren't as strong. But like, I think that was a lot more than like anyone ever expected.
Well, see, my problem was it on pay-per-view?
You bought it on pay-per-view.
Yeah, that was the Global Force one, but not this time around. I don't think it was available.
No, it wasn't on 10 or 11.
Yeah, that's what the problem is. Like,
yeah.
You can't get like... sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't with these pay-per-views.
Right.
I think Ring of Honor has more consistency now, but I think there's still some shows that you think they're going to be pay-per-views, but they're not. So, I mean, you can get on the internet and stuff, but wrestling's interesting right now. I just don't... I think we need those larger-than-life characters like a Sting, like a Flair, like a Legion of Doom, like a Hogan, Warrior, Savage. We need that again, and I don't think we're really getting that because there's a lot of factors that come into that, too.
Unfortunately, it's still a political game. It's still like, a lot of these guys are just like handcuffed.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like Zayn is made out to be like this nerd. Styles should be more over than he is.
Well, it's just McMahon. Like he's just that's half his problem. If you're not juiced up and big, he's not interested.
Right.
So I mean, to me, it's like a lot of those guys just don't have a chance, and if they do, it's just mediocre at best. But didn't Styles win the belt already anyway?
Yeah, he was WWE champion a couple months ago.
Yeah, so I mean, he kind of accomplished what he needed to accomplish, I guess.
Right. But he should be like, he should be in more high profile matches. He should have the Bullet Club, and not just like the club and on like Raw and then AJ Styles on SmackDown. No, they should be like together, and they should be That should be the Bullet Club, baby.
I know. It goes back to McMahon's ego and all that nonsense. He just does not want to get into that. He'll never admit somebody else is more successful than him.
Right.
That's why he never had the Horsemen. They never came in there. They did. He had the Horsemen essentially, except Flair at 89, but he never put them together. There was no mention of it.
Nope.
So.
Hey, tomorrow's another day.
It is.
So we're just gonna rest our heads on the pillow tonight.
We will.
Gonna
sleep tight.
Gonna rest off the dreamland.
I gotta go to the gym tomorrow too, but
I haven't been to the gym like all week. I'm dying.
I went Tuesday, then the other 2 days I didn't go. Like tonight I didn't go. I'm just too tired. But
I think my problem is my commute's long.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's tough too when you work all day and I need to eat food. Like I can't just go to the gym after work. God bless people that do. I always have a shitty workout. I don't like it. So I go home, I eat, replenish myself, then I go to the gym. Yeah. Then I'll go to the track or something. But we'll come back. We'll talk about. We'll do the Survivor Series podcast. We'll do the Mania podcast.
Right.
We'll do the Battable podcast. We'll do the Invasion angles. We're gonna have more guests on again. So there's a lot of things we got to do. So we'll be back soon. I promise.
Love you.
Aw.
Gotta make sure you do your homework though. Brush your teeth before you go to bed.
Absolutely.
Good night, gang.